iRacing recently released its new GTP tire model, and it is harder than ever to get these cars around the track and especially out of the pits. In this video, I'll be showing you exactly how you should deal with the new tire model, so make sure you watch till the end. Welcome back to another Overtake GG video. My name is Marcus, I have over 9,000 iRating and I drive for Apex Racing Team. Now, over the last week or so since the new tire model released, I've been testing out in basically every single way to try and figure out what helps and what doesn't help with this new tire model. Questions like, does it help to weave and does it help to do burnouts, or is there any way you can heat up the tire quicker to gain an advantage? I've basically been trying to find the best possible way to deal with the tires, not only throughout a stint but also on the first couple of laps. And I think potentially that's what we should start out by looking into. How do you get the tires up to temperature, and how do you get the car around the track while the tires heat up? It is no lie that these new tires are super difficult to manage on the outlaps, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of chaos across splits as the new tire model really gets into proper use in IMSA races and stuff like that. It'll be chaos, so be careful out there. Now let's get into my findings in terms of heating up the tire. What I actually found was best was to just take it easy and not do any burnouts, not do any weaving, as it'll actually kind of in a way end up over conditioning the tire. If you do a burnout on the pit exit, you'll be heating up the rear tires without bringing the front tires up to temperature, which will just create an imbalance in the car that is actually even worse than if you just drive normally out the pits. As for weaving on the outlap to try and generate some tire temperature, I barely found this made a difference in terms of the tire heat, and it's actually gonna wear your tire out more instead of bringing it up to temperature, which I will tell you why is a bad thing a little later on in this video. The best way to go around the first couple of laps, in my opinion, is to just go around 90%. No matter what, you'll be losing 3 to 5 seconds on the cold tires, so pushing it will really gain you nothing. Being smooth on the brakes, smooth on the steering input, and especially smooth on the throttle is absolutely important. As I'm showing in this clip right here, this is how smooth I am on the first lap of a stint, because even putting just a bit too much throttle input will make the car snap, and you have to have quick reactions to save it, and also it'll just unbalance the car's tire temperatures. As for the race start, it's the same. Go around 90%, don't push. The snaps of oversteer or the lockups can be incredibly dangerous, not just for you but also for the cars around you. Believe it or not, but the race is not won in the first lap, but it can very easily be lost. So be careful out there. Now, before we move on with the video, if you are enjoying it, make sure to subscribe to Overtake GG. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you know when we upload a new video. Let's get back into it. The new GTP tire model is not only different in the first couple of laps of the stint, it's also different throughout the stint in the way that it wears and gets used. Tire wear is a lot higher than it was last season, and you should prepare to not have a lot of grip left at the end of the stint. This also means that tire saving and tire management throughout the stint is basically key to having a fast stint average. Essentially, you want to be avoiding lockups and micro lockups, avoiding wheel spins and anything like it, and just drive the tires as smooth as possible and try and keep the tires alive until the end. This is especially important if you're on a hot track temperature, but if you are on a colder track temperature, you can push the tires a little bit more, but once again, I just wouldn't try to push them too much because it's very easy to go over the limit. The best way of practicing this is actually to do a full stint so you can properly feel how the tire grip changes throughout a stint. Try it in hot temperatures, try in cold temperatures, because it is a very dynamic driving experience in this new GTPs. There's a big difference to how the car feels in hot temperatures versus the cold temperatures, so practice both of them and see what you think. I can sit here and give you a bunch of good advice, but the best advice I can give you is to try it out yourself, because you need to get the feeling within the wheel, within your hands, within the pedals. It's essentially that which is going to make your race great. Now, let's talk about tire strategies, because I've had a couple of people ask me, Marcus, do you change tires in IMSA races, and is it going to be possible to double stint in races so you'll avoid the cold tire outlaps and maybe gain some time on that? Firstly, I do not believe that double stints will be doable as the tire wear is so high this season. This is probably something that iRacing should consider, because in real life it is possible to be doing the double stints, but in iRacing the tire wear is simply too high. You have too little grip at the end of the stint, so we will be changing tires every single stint in an endurance race like the Sebring 12R that is coming up. As for the 45-minute IMSA races with one pit stop in, I do not believe that the tire changes will be faster, as the cold tires lose you 4 to 5 seconds on the first lap, 1 to 2 seconds on the second lap, and around half a second on the third lap. So already there you're losing about 7 seconds just getting the tires up to temperature. Now let's talk qualifying strategies. It's probably not a surprise that we are going to be getting one-shot qualifying this season with a double outlap. The first flying lap on the cold tires is simply too slow to be able to be competitive. I will pretty much guarantee you that every track this season will be a double outlap on no deploy and then one flying lap to get your time in. Now, we don't have to worry about the tire when qualifying, so introducing some weaves on the outlap could absolutely be a good idea. Unless the track temperature is scorching hot, then I'm sure the tires will get up to temperature fine. However, if you're below 30 to 40 degrees track temperature, I would definitely practice some quali runs with weaves to see if you can gain some more time and some more tire heat before the third lap. As for burnouts out of the pits, I would still just absolutely stay away from that. It just creates a weird imbalance in the car, even for qualifying where you're trying to generate some tire temperature. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that you could use these tips or something. If you're doing the Sebring 12 on the weekend, best of luck. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, make sure to subscribe to Overtake GG. I've been Marcus, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.